Hello, good afternoon from sunny France. And I thought I'd just drop in and do a quick live about storytelling because we all have a story within us, and your story is very important to get out there. The question is, do you have what it takes to put it out there? A lot of people that I speak to really are wondering whether their audience will listen to them talking about themselves all the time. Well, let me reassure you, it's not about you, it's about your experience and your expertise as it relates to the challenge that your avatar is facing, your story avatar. So, what is a story avatar? It all makes sense to you in just a moment. So, if you're watching this in replay and you have a question, then put hashtag replay before the question. Otherwise, listen on, and if you've got comments or you want the framework that I'm going to run through in just a minute, then put story in the comments below and I'll get it over to you. So remember that time when you watched an ad or listened to a presentation or heard a speech and thought, wow, he or she is reading my mind. That's exactly how I feel. Well, why is that? Well, the answer is simply that they connected with you. So how do you do that? In order to create a story that truly connects with your ideal client, you must first walk a mile in their mocassins. Why? Because without doing so, you won't be able to tell a story about their most urgent challenge using the words that they would use. And if you're not able to do that, you start off at a big disadvantage. Your story has to be relevant before it can become engaging. Your story has to be relevant before it can become inspiring. Your story has to do these things before you will get that comment or that thought going off in someone's head, wow, he's reading my mind. Then, when you are able to do this, you'll be able to answer the questions that your avatar, your story avatar, is thinking about before they even ask them, before they even form really in their own mind. Then you will be seen as someone, as a person to listen to, as an authority in your market. When your messaging is clear like this, it's concise and to the point. Your offer will become compelling too. And we all know that your offer has to be compelling if people are going to put their hands in their pockets and pull out their card to pay. So how do you do that? Well, you could use this structure. I call it the LVPS. It'll take you from being a storytelling dunce to being a storytelling master, or almost. The fact is that you don't have to be Ernest Hemingway or William Shakespeare to write a good story on social media nowadays. All you need is a structure. So why not try this one, LVPS? Well, what's involved in LVPS? Well, there's the hook to start with, and that's where you call out your ideal client by naming their biggest challenge. And then there's the setup, where just like a doctor, you make a diagnosis and name the symptoms. And then there's the pain, how these symptoms make your story avatar feel, and the impact that it is having on them, not just their business, but on them personally and their family life too. And then there's the vision, the result that your story avatar wants to achieve, the dream that they have. And you understand that between the pain and the vision, there is some tension. They are in one place now, and they want to be in this better place in the future. And that tension is a conflict within them. And conflict creates emotion. So that is why you need to put your finger really on that pain and then follow up by expressing the vision that they are that they have of the better life they want to lead. And then from there, from the vision, you move on to the lesson. Why the symptoms exist? Why are these, what is going wrong? And what do they need to do to get rid of them? In general terms, because you're not about to tell them how you're to get rid of them, but the what that needs to be got rid of. And then the next step after the lesson is the solution. And this could be your unique 5-step method for overcoming the challenge. But you introduce it by creating a bridge between the lesson and the solution, which is a story. Now, a story, you can write a story in a tweet, 140 characters. So we're not talking about writing pages and pages of A4. We're talking about creating a quick example, an illustration of what I mean, or what you mean, rather. And finally, the last stage is your call to action, the next step that they need to take, and what will happen when they do. So let me give you an example. So for the hook, perhaps in my case, the hook could be need more high quality leads, or click-through rate killing your business, or Facebook ads not working, or people not engaging with your posts. So 3 or 4 examples there of possible hooks. And the setup. You're probably doing everything right. You're just missing one key ingredient. Another one. When your messaging is off, your click-through rate is the first thing to suffer. Or it's not about your copy or your creative. It's probably because you're delivering the right message to the wrong people. And here's another one. Okay, let's move on to pain. your story avatar's pain. I'm missing out on key moments in family life because I'm working the all hours that God gave. I have bills to pay. I need new clients, and I need new clients now to get money coming in. Or my existing clients are not paying me what I'm worth, and they're really not my kind of people. Those are kind of the introduction. Each one of those three is an introduction into the pain and the challenge that your story avatar is facing. So it's not the complete story, it's just the lead in to the pain. So my existing clients are not paying me what I'm worth, and they're not really my kind of people, could lead on to say, I'm not being paid enough. They don't value me enough. They're always trying to beat me down on price, trying to get me to do more for less. It's soul destroying. I'm having to work 7 days a week, and my wife is very patient, but complaining because I miss out on my children's sports day at school. And we haven't got really enough money to take the holiday that we really, really want to. And I feel kind of depressed and not really living up to my own expectations. So when you get onto the vision, I want to work on my business, not in it. I want the freedom to do what I love to do and outsource the rest. I want to be able to transform the lives of my clients and live the life I long for. Again, 3 introductions to a vision, your ideal client, your story avatar's vision. I want to work on my business, not in it. I don't want to spend hours making or creating Facebook ad campaigns and getting involved in all these finicky little processes. I want to hire somebody to do that. I want to hire someone to do all my admin. I want to hire a project manager so I can do what I'm really, really good at and outsource the rest so that I can just do what I'm good at and be able to spend time with my family, go on that wonderful holiday that I always promised them, to see the blue-footed boobies in the Galapagos Islands, to spend time in South America, to go to the Olympic Games in Japan next year. I want to do all these things, but I can't because I'm stuck in my business. And the lesson is that it's not what you're doing that matters. It's what you're not doing that's holding you back. In fact, as I said before, you're probably doing far too much. And if you just had this one ingredient, you could do less and get better results. You could apply the Pareto principle in your business and get 80% of the results that you want from 20% of the work that you're currently doing. So when you implement this Pareto principle in your business, you will leverage your results. You will be able to tell powerful stories and attract clients who want to work with you, and at the same time drive everybody else away, because you only really need 1,000 true fans who will buy anything from you to have a successful business. So the solution, in my case, is that I've spent the last 4 years developing something I call the story inception method. It's kind of like painting by numbers with words. It will allow you to write powerful stories using frameworks, be that for your articles on your blog or your social media posts or your videos or your lives. You'll have a framework for each one, and you'll be able to put your finger on your ideal client's pain points as well. So you don't have to be a master storyteller like Ernest Hemingway to make this happen. Because even when your body goes to sleep, the mind stays up all night telling itself stories. So if you have a story you know the world needs to hear, and you want to be seen by your audience as the person who can help them make the breakthrough to the life they yearn for. So there again, the intro to the call to action. And then the actual call to action could be one of these 3 things. I'd be happy to have a chat with you about what it entails. And indeed I would. Or click the link below and book a call now. Or download 2 storytelling frameworks and get started. You see, if you brainstorm a bunch of these different ideas in this framework, you will have a go-to list of stories that you can create and repurpose into posts, videos, lives, or guest articles. Remember to use the same language your ideal clients use. Variety in your posting is the spice of life. So change things up and enjoy yourself. The story you write does not have to be from your own personal experience. It could be something topical that is relevant, or about a friend or a client who faced the same challenge. A story we can use here could be about a client who was cranking out content but getting little engagement because his messaging was off and he was telling the right story at the wrong time, or he was telling the right story to the wrong audience, and how his business and family life was suffering as a result because he was having to work far too hard for the results he was getting. He was kind of like a ship in a dense fog, unable to reach his home port because he didn't have an accurate GPS fix on its exact location. See how easy that was? Want to know more? Tomorrow I'll be back with another live, and we can look at the problem of actually identifying the questions that your story avatar, your ideal client, may have before you even speak to them. But it's going to be a dark post, so only people who comment below this live will actually get to see it or read it. So comment questions below and I'll DM you with a link when it's up. So I hope that's been useful for you. If you've got any comments or questions, as I said at the beginning, put hashtag replay in the comment below before you ask, and I'll keep an eye on that and get back to you as soon as I can with an answer. In the meantime, have a great day. Bye bye for now.